All right, let's get this thing going here. Hey, I'm Robert from GHTR, and this morning on GHTR Underground. I want to talk about a few things that are actually going on right now and how I feel, what my opinions are. This will be a short podcast, of course. The thing about it is I'm standing out here and I'm looking at what's going on in our country, and people are talking about how different things are happening. This could be World War III, which it very well could be. But it's going to be interesting to find out how this is actually going to take place. And for that reason, that one reason, we need to eliminate, some of the things that we're hearing from our media and where people are getting their information from. And that's really important. You take Fox News and CNN. There's no comparison to both of them. They both do the same thing. We know that CNN is on the side of the left, and so they just run down everything, tell people how it is, and then you got people on the right at Fox that are doing the same thing. They were doing the same thing. I mean, when Trump was in office, Fox was, praising him, and why CNN was finding every day something new with President Trump. And now we're doing the same thing with Biden, which there's a lot of stuff that I see that Biden's doing. I don't see anything good coming out of any of the administrations that are coming up. And one of those reasons is because I think we as a nation have given up on any kind of real hope. And, when I say no hope, I mean, why can we trust our government? It's the entire government, guys. Let's just not single them out. It's not the left or the right. It's both of them. They rip us off every day. I mean, our taxes are going up. They're increasing. They take almost half of our paychecks. And for what? To pay them to take vacations, to have luxury places to live and stuff like that. Why the rest of the country is sitting there suffering. We're giving billions of dollars to Ukraine. For what? Again, why can't we use that money for the American people? If they got so much money, let's help the American people. And people are homeless. Vets who need help and stuff like that. But they're not doing that. They're letting people suffer, and that's just the way it is. I don't see anything good coming from any of it. I see these world leaders. I just don't. I sit there sometimes and I wonder, what is the ultimate goal here? What is the goal that people are going to bring into this whole entire monstrosity of chaos and everything like that? I mean, it seems like, there's the ultimate fight for who has more power, and I just don't get it. I mean, that's been going on for thousands and thousands of years. This has all been going on for ever. I mean, even in the days when intimately we were just coming together as men. I mean, there was power struggles with clans and all this other stuff. Who's the better one? Who has more power? And this is just the way things are. And I get that part of it, but what I don't get is nuclear talk and all these things that are actually happening. Given the right to us as a nation to blow up the whole entire world, and thinking that they're going to be safe and life is going to flourish. What they don't understand is, what are they going to do? What are you going to do? What are you really going to do when all the world is just annihilated and they're in their bunkers? When they emerge from the bunkers, what are they going to do for food? What are they seriously going to do at that time? The world will be tainted, and there won't be any way for anybody to survive. And those elite people, the most richest people, will be on thrones and sitting there waiting for people to come out of their holes and stuff like that, so they can control those people. think about it. I have been reading a book, a series of books, James Axler, Deathlands, and it talks about the apocalypse, so what happened, and this book kind of goes over like a lot of the things that happened, and you read the series and it really makes you wonder if this has actually happened, it would happen, and it's just immediately like an explosion of magnitude out there. It's never going to be like like we want it to be. In this series of books that I'm reading, the characters in there are roaming all over the United States, and they have these transport mechanisms that will transport them from one location to another. And of course, every location has its fights and all these other things and deaths and, what these people represent. We might not have the transportation that they did, but think about it. Think about the show was on Living Dead. I can't remember the whole name of it, but my son had me watch that series. And the analogy of it, you have to look at it. It's like the zombies that were in there is just a disease, and people coming into different, the United States or the world has collapsed. You think about the diseased people out there who would be diseased, and then you have these colonies that have no diseases in it, and they're trying to keep the disease out. And so you've got someone who's coming up with sick, and you don't want that person because that person can infect the whole entire colony. So what's the best thing to do is kill that person, because there is no cure for that. And so it's exactly what could happen here. But at the same token, I think, the United States is going to still continue to be the most powerful country in the world. Regardless, it's because we have, for instance, there was an interview I watched not long ago, and the guy said it. He says the United States is the actual only country in the world that has more guns than a lot of other countries. But it's not the army; it's the people it's we the people here in the United States. We're ready to rock, and take our country and protect it from all and every thing that happens. So you do kind of wonder in a way, and you try to eliminate, any kind of variable like. Our Second Amendment rights is written in concrete. It's absolutely no way it's going to change. They're finding that out when they're going into, they're in the Senate. They're trying to outlaw certain things, and they're getting a lot of pushback, and no one wants to go against our constitutional rights. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to remove, and also the currency. They keep telling us that the currency, the dollar, the cost of the dollar is going to die out, and I don't think that is true, but you never know. But if it does, then we go to electronic currency. That's the best way to do it. Bottom everything out. We all start at zero, and you are able to pay, your bills with this electronic currency. And so it's just all these things that we think about. And then you have to think about what's going on in, the biblical. Let's go to the biblical side. A lot of people are saying this is the end. This is like, it's been written in the Bible that these things could take place. And it does make you wonder, in some weird and obvious way. But at the same token, even if it is, we don't know for sure because, in the Bible it says, he'll come like a thief in the night. And all eyes will look up and see, God there. And I just, what is that really going to be like? And if that does happen, that ends everything. But I do believe in my heart and soul being a Christian myself, I have the right to voice my opinion, and my opinion is that when this happens, I don't think it's going to be quite like that. And I believe that when we leave this earth, we go to somewhere different, whether it be a different life somewhere else. I don't know. I really don't know how that will happen. But I do know that, things happen for a reason. And I don't know any other way to say it. It's just trying to make sense of all this all the time. And I just, this whole thing, we just got to take care of ourselves. We can't keep counting on the government. The government wants us to rely on them. And that's why I keep saying, we have to do for ourselves and do for ourselves the best way that we can. And that, to me, is really the catalyst that will hold us together as a nation. If we just take control back from the government, that means we the people taking control back and fighting back and tell them, no, we're not going to do this. I mean, if everybody got together and say, hey, we're not paying our taxes anymore. Why are we paying taxes? Our tax money goes to help these assholes in frickin' our government to survive. We're paying all their stuff, but screw the IRS. We don't. Technically, there is a law that not a law, but it's there's been people who are lawyers and stuff who have spent days, if not days, hours, saying that there is actually no law that says that we have to pay taxes. We should, income tax, I'm talking. And that's what some of the right and some Democrats are like trying to fight for, is they're saying that, abolish the IRS. We pay a 30% sales tax on everything that we want to buy, except for food. So that, to me, is well worth it, to have that money back into our bank accounts so that we can thrive and like everybody else. And that would probably help a lot of the lower class and middle class families. I just believe that this is the approach that we should take in our country. And if other countries want to lead the way, so be it. I've been asked about Russia and China combining and becoming allies. Some people say that, if that happens, it's going to be horrific. It's going to be bad for us. But at the same token, we just have to, try to eliminate that kind of, how do I say it? Try to eliminate that kind of chaos. All we need to do is be realistic. I forgot where I was going with that, but I do apologize. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I want you to have a wonderful Sunday, and take care of yourself. And we will be back in touch with you very soon. Just remember, look up, pray every day, and things will be okay. Did a little bit of rhyme there, but that's what it is. All right, have a good one, people.